from Torrance. Whoop, there he goes. Tim, floor it, man. He's going to open it up, and we're going to start falling behind. Well, that's right. Reports of, you know what? I'll step it up one more notch and say it is a pursuit. Southbound 110 freeway. It did start in the Lakewood area. Sheriff's Department, they were the ones overhead. They went into their tracking mode. They did all the things that, the new policies are saying. And this car did not slow down. Actually sped up at some points. Getting on the freeway, getting off the freeway, into heavy traffic, pushing its way through. It's a stolen vehicle. The person behind the wheel, obviously not too concerned about himself, that vehicle, or others on the roadway. You can see this driving back up to 100 miles an hour, southbound 110 freeway. Reason why I was talking about they were is because the California Highway Patrol picked it up. They're the ones that are behind it. But this vehicle moving at over 100 miles an hour at sometimes, and whenever it can, let's just call it like it is making it so difficult for them to keep up. The helicopter above, they lost it at one time. It was blending in because there was nobody behind it. But look as this person is driving along this evening, 110 freeway, high speed, zipping in and out, doing whatever he can to stay away from the California Highway Patrol. Those guys, trained professionals. This guy, car thief. So you call it. Right now, extremely dangerous, high speeds, over 100 miles an hour. Once again, 110 freeway. He's going to run out of freeway. We're going to be in San Pedro here shortly. This pursuit continuing now, entering the San Pedro area, started in Lakewood.
All right, Stu, so we're seeing a decent amount of traffic right now on the southbound 110 freeway. I'm actually surprised at this time of night. I would expect a little bit more traffic, but that is good news, at least for the innocent people surrounding this person who is taking this chase up to speeds of 100+ miles per hour in a stolen BMW. Clearly no regard for someone else's property, and he's certainly not going to have any regard for the people surrounding him as he attempts to make his getaway from the CHP.
This is the 110 here southbound, where it's going to run out at San Pedro pretty soon. With speeds 100 miles per hour, he's going to end up running out of road here. We'll have to see what happens then at this point in time. CHP is in pursuit of this stolen vehicle. The driver behind the wheel of a gray BMW just turned off his front lights for some reason. Had his headlights on, his headlights went off, and now they're back on. LASD helicopter is overhead, and you can see how fast this individual is going. Sky 9 is up above. Boy, Stu, he is really going fast now.
He is, and that car, BMW, everybody knows it is a performance vehicle. The only thing I can say that makes this, a little bit easier to watch is it's going to have good brakes. But at 100 miles an hour, if he comes up on a heavily packed area, a solid red light, you just cringe, and you can see it. He's actually speeding up as he's working his way towards the end of the freeway out here. Hard on the brakes, even hugging the corner right there. Some dangerous moves. A lot of traffic. Earlier on we heard, Elsa, I heard you talking about that there was not that much traffic. The traffic is what actually was actually a benefit for him. He actually had an opportunity where he probably could have gotten away. Look how quick the California Highway Patrol got there. Look at these moves that this guy is making in this car. This is so hair-raising, so dangerous. Hard turn right there. The lights are off. He probably turned those lights off. There we go. One of the first times you're going to see those brakes coming on. But those front lights, they stay on. It's probably something in the menu that he's got to change. And I'm hoping he's not going to try to shut those lights off. High speed, small roads, wrong side of the road. This one is hair-raising, to say the least. I am so worried somebody's going to get hurt on in this chase.
Absolutely. That's always the first concern, Stu. Just want to let everybody know you are watching A Pursuit live on our early edition of KCAL 9 News at 8 o'clock. Stu, this driver is leading the CHP and the LA Sheriff's Department on this pursuit right now. Took the 110 all the way until it dead ended into San Pedro. Set the scene for us now as this person drives through some of the streets of San Pedro. It can get very tricky down here in this traffic in the area he's in.
Very tricky. I'm just astonished. Nobody's been hurt. I'm so happy to say that, but I'm so worried that things are going to change. Obviously, that major street out there was gaffy. I'm sorry I didn't call it out earlier on. Every time he makes his way onto that major street, it is gaffy. Right now, I believe that's going to be Pacific. All the streets out here, every red light that he's come to has had traffic. I'm telling you, the blood is out of my hands. It's because every time he gets to one of these turns or makes one of those sharp turns, I am so worried. We're going to move Sky 9. He'll probably pop out before we have to make that turn. Making another hard turn. The first time I seen that car fishtail, you've got to know that he's really pushing that car as if that car is actually losing traction down there. Back on the brakes right now. Looks like right through some barricades. Don't know what those barricades are up for, but he just plowed his way right through them right there. These roads, oh, whoa! Look at that. That is something that just, when you see that, if you don't have a judgment call on how fast that car is going, it tells you that is a BMW full-size vehicle, newer model, skidding out of control. This guy pushing it very, very hard this evening. California Highway Patrol right behind it. We're in San Pedro right now. This car continues to elude officers. Thank goodness he hasn't made contact with anybody or anything else, but this car, look at it. This is just crazy.
Yeah, this is a high-performance vehicle, four-door sedan BMW, but the driver is not a professional driver behind the wheel. This is a suspect of a stolen vehicle that started in the Lakewood, Artesia area. It got onto a number of highways, ended the 110 freeway at San Pedro, going southbound, and then it has entered onto these surface streets you see here. And this driver is getting so desperate because I've never seen a driver go from left to right, going blindly through these intersections, going right through the stop signs and stop lights, attempting to turn on and off its lights. It looks like it has its daylight running lights on in the front, but not in the back. And for some reason, I don't know if this driver thinks that he could elude police by turning off his lights, but there is this helicopter overhead. You see the night sun. That is from LASD, the Sheriff's Department, who initiated this pullover, the stop of this individual for a stolen vehicle. And it's led us to this point right now. And it always concerns me when you see a driver acting so desperate and making these aggressive maneuvers. But also, Elsa, this is a neighborhood. These are fast speeds, and this is at night. And things can come up on a driver going that fast very, very easily. Especially when they turn off their headlights. That adds another level of danger here for the innocent people around this person who's clearly just snaking their way through the streets. People obviously, thankfully, aware of what is happening here and stopping and allowing this driver to continue leading police and sheriffs on this pursuit, or CHP rather, and sheriffs on this pursuit. We watched this driver plow through some barricades that were blocking a street, had no regard for that. We saw those barricades just fly out into the air as they continued on in this chase. This person obviously in a high-performance vehicle. That doesn't mean he's a high-performance driver, and that is the danger because, as you said, Jeff, he is barreling through neighborhoods right now. Right now, we're not seeing any of the patrol cars that were following behind this vehicle. Is it possible, Stu, that they have now pulled back since we are in a neighborhood, a residential area, to maybe take some of the heat off this guy and make it a little more safe for the people who are caught in the middle of this?
Well, you know, the law enforcement safety is always going to be their #1 concern. Is that what's going on right here, right now? That's tough to say. They may have actually lost the vehicle when he got on those high speeds and started making those erratic turns. Even though the officers from California Highway Patrol not behind this vehicle anymore, this vehicle has not slowed down, has not shown any type of relaxing of the speeds, actually getting higher speeds as he's getting into these areas out here. This is very residential. We're working our way up into the hillsides right now, so it's going to get tighter. It's going to get smaller the roads out here. This is going to be the coastal San Pedro area. The neighborhoods, anybody that's out here knows, you can see it right there. This person probably just driving home, doing what you're supposed to do on these tight roads. Maybe even looking at this guy going, what is this guy doing speeding down in my neighborhood? Right now, though, this vehicle still running. running from law enforcement, helicopters keeping an eye on it. That's going to be the sheriff's ship. Not sure if he's going to be able to get the information to the ground units, but they're definitely keeping an eye on where this car is right now. You can see that spotlight. He's making a northbound. He actually turned northbound, trying to get the name of the street. They might have actually said 11th Street, but I'm not sure about that. Getting back onto another major, so that's going to be a little easier for us to follow. But you can see this vehicle still driving extremely fast. And part of the problem also, it's not a problem, but things that just add to all of this is that's a very high-performance car. It's going to react very well, giving that driver maybe a false sense of confidence, and he'll just keep pushing it, thinking that, you know, he's unstoppable. But I can tell you, as soon as the panic comes and as soon as there's a problem, that car is going to stop. Hopefully, it's going to be by that driver's own design, possibly just giving up, maybe just running. But right now, these high speeds, that heavy car, these tight roads, I'm just so worried for the public at large.
Yeah, the children, pedestrians, cyclists, and of course this guy's going fast enough he could lose control and end up in somebody's house the way he's driving. It would be the best thing if he could just pull over and put his hands up out the window and stop. It looks like he's getting into some sort of industrial area in a parking lot as he is taking a wide turn in that parking lot, obstructed by the tree, continues through. But this is a stolen vehicle pursuit here on this early edition of KCAL 9 on this Friday evening. This was one that came in the Artesia Lakewood area as a stolen vehicle. The driver then, getting onto a number of highways, ended up on the 110 freeway southbound in San Pedro now. LA Sheriff's Department initiated the stop of this vehicle. He took off. Now CHP, LASD as well in pursuit, although they might have backed off just a little bit.
Dead end.
And all right, well, we'll see if this does anything for the pursuit as far as ending it. Doesn't look like it for the driver.
I don't think the unit's around anymore.
Yeah, but at least all is not lost. We do have the sheriff's helicopter up above.
Put it in park and just get out and...
Hopefully that is what this person's going to do, because now there are the patrol cars. Yeah. They've got him cornered.
This is going to end very quickly now, because this is a cul-de-sac. Let's just hope the driver does a smart thing and stops. He continues to drive backwards, though. You got two units coming into this cul-de-sac. This is going to be in San Pedro. This is the driver of a BMW. I don't know where he thinks he's going to go.
Well, hopefully it's not going to be anywhere through the house or anywhere beyond that. He's got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, I think it's best if he
he's
stops.
looking for any out right now.
Right.
He's just trying to find any way that he can to get out of this situation. The number of officers right there, he might be coming to his senses right now, realizing there is no way out. This isn't a video game. This isn't something where you can just choose a way out of here. There is no flat road. There's an empty lot right there, but there's no way that car is going to get over that wall. The vehicle has come to a stop right now. Door is open. If he's going to run, this is on a hillside, so it's going to be kind of interesting. A number of officers are down there. Thank goodness he may have shut off that vehicle. You can see that the California Highway Patrol down there, along with some LAPD as well. But you can see the officers. There he goes. He's got his hands up, but he's running. He's doing the wobble right there. We're going to move Sky 9 around here. We're going to get shots of it. But you can see California Highway Patrol running after that suspect. They're keeping an eye on it with the helicopters. Some maybe LAPD is going to join in and try to get on the other side of it. But very large house out here. We're going to move the helicopter over to the other side so we can see where this guy is right now. It does seem like the foot chase is continuing. We're going to see what we can see here in just a moment.
Yeah, as you can see there, that's the house that the police are going in the backyard of. That house incorporates a good part of that cul-de-sac, kind of a horseshoe sort of a home that goes around the corner. And that is where the suspect went into, and then those CHP officers, lickety-split, went from cover all the way out to run after that suspect. I would expect that he'd be in custody soon.
Yeah, you know, but it is...
he's from the back.
Right, I saw the person run behind the house, but then I never saw anyone pop out. Again, it's dark and it's really hard to see, but perhaps the CHP is behind there, and maybe they are getting this guy into custody. We can't see right now because they are behind this house. Hopefully that's the case right there.
Yeah, we do have a couple of officers there. You see the flashlights, and there's a tree. You wonder if he climbed the tree. He was kind of wobbly when he got out of the car. Probably I don't know. I mean, anybody who decides to do something like that's got to be very nervous and obviously very desperate.
What?
But he almost bit it when he was going up the stairs there at that house. So,
Yeah.
Stu, what's the latest that you see?
Well, they have not seen where he went. You know, we see that one light right there. That could be a cell phone, maybe, maybe not. We did see him come around the corner right there. And like Elsa said, we never saw him come out the other side, so they're thinking that he's still near that house where we just got the helicopter over to the other side. You can see some of the other officers there making their way over to, that's another California Highway Patrol lower on the hill, thinking maybe this is the direction where he was running to. But they are still, don't have it. He's north of a house that they're lighting up, and he's in the backyard. So he's north of the house that they're lighting up. So he's made it to that area right there. That's coming from the helicopter right now. You can't see, though, that the officers are going to need a few moments to get to there. We're moving Sky 9 around as well. We have to stay safely away from the helicopter. But apparently the helicopter with the lights saying that they have eyes on them.
Yep, okay.
And they're still working for street names. California Highway Patrol, LAPD also here assisting, making their way over to that house.
Okay, Stu, we heard the pursuit ended on a street called Amirante next to a park, I believe it's called Friendship Park. But right now, this person has now turned this into a foot pursuit and is apparently hiding between some of the houses there. We may not be able to see this person, but the CHP and LA Sheriff's Department with their helicopter you are hearing some of the traffic up there in the helicopter that they do have eyes on this person, thankfully.
It's not going to take them long to wrangle him up. I mean, there's only so many places that he could hide, and I would suspect that there's, hopefully that these individuals that live around there have their doors locked and the windows locked, and somebody as desperate as that would probably try to get in. As we take a look here live, this is
You got him, Stu? You got him? Can you see him?
I believe that's going to be an officer. That's an officer. But they're talking to him right now. They're not talking to the suspect. The helicopter's talking to the people on the ground, the officers on the ground. They're saying that he's right here in this area right here. They're still saying the same thing. He's in that backyard. So you can see the officers down there, law enforcement, the Leos as they like to be called, jumping over the fence, making their way into this backyard. That's the area where
somebody just went inside from that deck. Yeah. Do you see that upper deck?
Yeah, those are all law enforcement. Okay. Those are all law enforcement. And that's the thing. He's probably going to be on the ground area, so he's plenty of places to hide. We're going to keep an eye on it. We have not heard this guy in custody. We haven't heard the officers on the ground saying they have seen him, but apparently the helicopter saw him last here, right? So apparently he's still somewhere right here in this area. We're listening to the officers calling out locations. We have not seen this guy going into custody. Yeah,
well, there were 4 cruisers that came in on that cul-de-sac, so at least 4 officers, and of course the police officer in the air and the helicopter as well, looking to round up this suspect after he bailed out. At a cul-de-sac in San Pedro, we understand it's Amirante near Friendship Park is where this kind of all ended. It went from a police pursuit of a vehicle to a foot chase after he decided to get out and run to. And this is a pretty rural and dark area, so he had some cover, but it looks like they're kind of zeroing in on him.
All right, and also we just want to let you know, as the CHP and the LA County Sheriff's Department continue to look for this guy on foot, Stu Mundell will stay above the search for this suspect.
Well, if you guys are still listening on the web, I don't know if you've, okay, but are we still on the web? Because we lost the signal. All right, cool. So you can see what's going on out here. They were telling us this is by Friendship Park, Amir Road. Actually, he jumped down off of Amir Road. I'm kind of looking out the window trying to figure out where this is. There's a bunch of cul-de-sacs down there. You can see these officers. You know, he ran around that corner, and he just kind of we lost him. We don't know if we didn't see him run out that way. We were keeping it wide, trying to get an idea where he's going. A lot of people say, well, gosh, why didn't you get the helicopter over there quicker? It is all kind of a perception. You know, believe me, Timmy was making the moves as quick as he could to get onto the other side. He's here. But the issues are, of course, it's perception. We looks like we were a lot closer than we were, and you know, obviously you can push in. It looks like, oh, you're right there, but to get to be on the other side, difficult. Enough of that. What happened? Well, this guy got out and ran. He was acting loopy. Come on, man. He was really moving through these neighborhoods out here, and. Hang on. It sounds like something's going on. Suspect in custody. Suspect in custody, code 4. I'm trying to find him. Where's he at? Where's he at? I know! There he is. Got him. You're in the perfect spot. There we go. Now he's in custody. There he goes. They're taking him to the vehicle. So the helicopter was right in the end. They found him in that one house. This is all coming to an end. This was nifty, and but it's definitely over. Thank goodness nobody got hurt. It's it's something to see those cars, you know, running though sometimes, and that being a newer BMW. I don't know if that was a 5 or a 7. I wish I could get to my phone and take a peek, but he made a couple of, he's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away down that hillside. At least it was downhill. You didn't have to run too much. But all coming to an end out here, and luckily nobody's hurt. Suspect's not shot, and one in custody after a pursuit that started in Lakewood. Stolen BMW. Amazingly high speeds at some points, but now it's over.